What's up everyone and welcome back to the video here at Logikfx, and in this one I'm going to be covering the currency strength meter we have here at Logikfx and how to identify good ones, how to identify bad ones, and why they're useful when you're actually starting to trade the currency market. So what is the problem when you're faced with a currency strength meter, and why do we need to use a currency strength meter? Well, a big one is that the Forex market has loads and loads of currencies, right? You have loads of different currency pairs: Euro USD, Euro GBP, Euro ZAR, Euro Japanese Yen. The list goes on. And the big problem traders face is they don't know which pair to trade and which pair to focus on, right? You could do all this analysis, but in the end, the analysis will be useless because the market's not ready for that currency pair. And this is where the currency strength meter comes into play. It's what helps you really filter and nail the right currency pairs to trade and focus on, because you can do all your analysis for that currency pair, it's going to be completely useless, but then the market says, right, yeah, you're not ready for it. So the currency strength meter lets you choose the currency pairs that matter, right? It's the exact opposite. Think of it like a filter, right? A funnel. You're going to put all the currency pairs in the market into this funnel, and it's going to spit out at the end only the ones that matter. And that's why it's really important to have a currency strength meter in your analysis, and it's really important to follow that systematic approach when trading Forex. So let's get on with the video. Let's get on with how you're going to access it, how you're actually going to use it, and what it looks like with some proof. So what are we going to do in this video, and what will you learn? Well, what will you learn is actually the number one mistake traders make when they're actually starting to use a currency strength meter. Okay? The next one is going to be how to find high probability setups with the currency strength meter. And the final one is how to actually access our currency strength meter here at Logikfx. Okay? So remember those 3 points as we go through the video. So what is a currency strength meter? Well, a currency strength meter is just a tool we use as traders to identify strong and weak currencies. But remember this, the first rule: don't use the currency strength meter if you don't know how it works. Why? Because if you don't fully understand the logic behind the strength meter, it'll actually lead you to start blaming the meter itself. Okay? You don't understand how it works, you don't understand the confirmations that it requires, you don't understand the preliminary things you need to do before actually using the strength meter, okay? It's bad practice for a trader to, blame things. You want to be as critical as you can on yourself, on how you can improve your own trading, and that's where you don't want to be blaming things, blaming tools that actually work, okay? So, for example, with the Logikfx currency strength meter, there are conditions that need to be met beforehand to make sure you're finding those high probability trades, okay? And that means you need to understand what time frames you need to use the strength meter in, what type of technical and confirmation indicators you also need to use, what other types of analysis have to be used in combination with the strength meter to really increase your own odds. It's really not as simple as just buying the strong currency, selling the weak currency. It's not that simple. If it was that simple, everyone would be millionaires, right? So what is the point? So that's why our currency strength meter is one where it really helps you find the strong currencies, really helps you find the weak currencies, and then our masterclass series helps you actually use it to its full extent. And then you can identify the best opportunities in the market with the whole combination of analysis, the whole systematic approach and strategy used here at Logikfx. So what is our currency strength meter? Well, our currency strength meter is an award-winning currency strength meter. It's a macro fundamental currency strength meter, and it's actually been ranked #1 for a Forex automation tool back in May 2019 by eForex magazine. And what makes it a key difference to other ones out there is that it uses thousands of economic reports from over 23 economies, and then it spits that out into a strong, weak, or neutral score, like you can see in the picture here. So what about the bad currency strength meters? What do they look like? Well, they'll look something like this. They'll sound something like this. They'll use price action in their strength reading. They'll use price data, past price data from the past to compute some sort of rate of change or some sort of strength reading or correlation, and it's actually useless for forecasting future value. Okay, remember that. The best way to measure currency strength is with macro fundamentals. If an economy is growing and there's more money in circulation through printing or some other means, and then the overall value of that currency is likely to fall in the future. And it's these simple economic rules that pay off huge once you understand them. It's why our currency strength meter is so popular amongst traders now. Okay? So how am I going to identify these bad currency strength meters? Well, remember the first one is that it only uses price data. So some videos out there will tell you to use price data on TradingView, get a rate of change, look at this heat map. They really don't work because they're all based on price data, and price data is backwards looking. It's not going to get you anything of value for forecasting. Okay? There's also a massive emphasis on the importance of correlation. They also about correlation this, look at the correlation on the strength meter of this. There's really no proof of worth. Whereas the Logikfx currency strength meter has massive proof of worth. Okay, we're going to be moving on to it in a second, but firstly, I'm going to show you what a good currency strength meter looks like. So a good currency strength meter is one based on macro fundamental trading principles like economics, leading economic indicators, coincident, lagging ones. These are all economic terms you'll learn if you studied economics at university, you studied economic books. And good currency strength meters, what do? Well, they save you time doing that economic fundamental research, and then they make it easy to use, like the one at Logikfx. Okay, so this is what ours looks like at Logikfx. We have two separate views. One of them is that we have some cards here. They'll show you each card, like US dollar, the euro, the pound, the Japanese yen, all here. There's a score on it, as you can see where the arrows are pointing, where it says 36 and strong for the US dollar. For the euro it says -27 and it's weak for the euro. Okay, and it's actually divided into those four areas, and you can see that there's another number below it where it says strengthening or weakening, and that's from the previous value. So it shows you the trends from week to week if one currency is strengthening against the other. Okay, it's really important, and your aim as a trader is to actually combine a strong currency with a weak currency using this indicator. Okay, for example, I've done it here. This is the line chart view of the currency strength indicator we have here at Logikfx, and what you can actually do is compare currencies against each other on a line chart to see what is the economic currency strength for one economy, and then what is it for the other economy. Okay, and that gives you really good idea of what to focus on, because if one's strong and one's weak, you have an idea that you want to buy it, and if one's weak and one's strong, you have an idea if you want to sell it. But there's still some more things you need to do in the background to make sure the odds are really in your favor. Okay, so where's the proof of this working? Well, in the past, Marcus here has actually publicly made available different results from using the currency strength meter itself. Here we have Euro Swiss franc having a short idea back in April 2019. The score for Euro was -27, and for Swiss franc it was +36. And overall, with combination of other things in the background that we'd cover in the masterclass series, we were able to predict a massive downside move here. And it goes to really show how powerful a currency strength meter is when you're using it properly with fundamentals, with technicals, with COT, with all the things covered that we actually teach you here at Logikfx. This one in particular was a 16% gain based on a 2% risk, and it just shows how powerful it actually is. What about another one? Well, another one is the Swiss franc against the Czech koruna. A very exotic pair here. Not many people trade it, but at Logikfx here, we have no biases. We trade volatility, and this one is very interesting. So this one was Swiss franc going from +25 and growing, but had a neutral score of 0. But it was growing against the Czech koruna, meaning potentially the Swiss franc was strengthening in the future, meaning prediction it was a long. What was the result? Massive upside move with various levels of entry which you could have used, and a lot of time to actually conduct the analysis that's required afterwards. Okay, that's basically our currency strength meter covered in a nutshell. And the bonus tips that I have when using this currency strength meter is that you always want to be placing your stop loss and your targets based on volatility. This is something we cover, and it's a video we're going to cover in the future. And basically, you can't just have static stop losses and targets. You know, people out there that are like, yeah, just have a 10 pip stop and a 10 pip target. No, 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 it doesn't work like that. Different assets have different volatility, meaning different assets require different stops and different targets. Okay? You also want to check if the market's with you or against you, and this is something we've covered in our COT report videos. They're really popular. Go and have a look at that tutorial. It'll be on our channel on our most recent uploads. And finally, you always want to limit your gross exposure. You don't want to be under leveraging and you don't want to be over leveraging, and you want to make sure that you have enough assets in your portfolio so that you're not actually concentrating your risk. And one really, really important tip is that currency strength meters are not, I repeat, are not to time your entries, okay? That's something we cover in our masterclass series, how to time your entries. The currency strength meter is to filter out and allow you to focus on a particular currency pair. It's not to time you on that currency pair, okay? So, how do I actually go and access the currency strength meter? Well, the Logikfx currency strength meter is only available to our liter traders, and to actually access it, you want to go ahead and complete our online web class. So it's a free online web class, and then once you've completed it, you'll understand a bit about macro fundamentals, how to do it yourself, and then we have a psychometric assessment on that. So if you successfully complete the psychometric assessment, we'll only be accepting people with the right aptitude to be a trader here at Logikfx. We're not going to accept people here looking to make a quick buck, looking to make fast gains, have the lifestyle trader outlook. We're looking for people who want to have a systematic, long-term, sustainable approach to the markets and understand how to invest and trade properly. That's who we're looking to take on. If that sounds and looks like you, definitely go ahead and take that web class. Here's the link: www.logikfx.com/learn-to-trade. Okay? Only the successful applicants will be accepted. I wish you all good luck. Subscribe and like the video, traders, and I hope to see you in the future using the currency strength meter like I have done in the examples I've shown below. We also release up to weekly, bi-weekly analysis posts on our blog, which uses the currency strength meter if you want to take a look at it before you do the online web class. Okay? That's it for the video. It's Matty from Logikfx. Really hope you enjoyed it, and I hope to see you all in the future, guys. Take care.